We ready, Ellie? You ready to go? Joel, you're good?
Be up and running.
He just,
Pat's not here, and Richard will be a little bit, probably. Rich is over there? Okay, we can wait a couple minutes. Yeah. Morning, sir.
Brett, do you want me?
Everyone remember to turn your microphones on when you speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie. Brett, you want me to start things off, or you mind?
You can, yeah.
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the January 16th, 2026 Design and Review Board Workshop session. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome. Good to see everyone. A little chilly outside this morning, but we're here. And I guess is Pat going to be here this morning? Did he say? Okay, very good.
Said he was.
All right. Well, let's do this. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mr. Schroeder to walk us through our one application we have this morning. Brett, the floor is yours.
Good morning. I'm trying to pull this up on the GIS. Oh, there it goes. Finally, it's going to work for us. Okay. Just going to blame Joel there real quick, but can you turn me on, Joel?
They can see you for some reason.
They can? Okay.
Yes, we can see you now.
All right, so I really need to get a mouse up here.
There it goes.
Okay, so we're looking at two lots. They're combining these two lots. Just for reference, City Hall's up here, Thompson Street, water park, stormwater park right there. So we already looked at a couple of things down the way here. I think there's like maybe 3 lots left in this stretch right here to go for development. So we'll look at their packet here. So you can see it's currently got 2 structures on it. Those will be going away, obviously. And similar to the last double group we looked at on Thompson Street, we got some single family detached at the front and then some single family attached at the back. One of the things that when Richard and Frank and I met to go over preliminarily, when we get to, we're not going to be doing it today, but we need to think about it and maybe bring it up to the engineers to pass on that this house in particular feels like it really wants the driveway to be farther away from the intersection. It might also give, because we're not looking at elevations yet, it might also give a nicer elevation stance to Thompson Street, which is going to be right there on the corner. So like we did at the last development, these two structures here will be really key for both their frontages and their sides, which is the Thompson Street frontage. So we'll go over those harder. They also have some different landscape requirements on the front here, which I'm sure Jennifer has well addressed. And those are by council conditions for the front there. You can see they're in their area back here is where they're going to do their stormwater. And then we get into landscape.
So Brett, today we're just looking at the site plan and the landscaping.
Site and landscape, yep. Yeah, they want to get moving in their LDP. They've already submitted for first round of comments. And then realized, oops, we forgot this part. So they submitted and got this in. So they're ready to have their first round, I believe, of comments, either already got them or they're ready to be pushed out to them, and then tweaked if we do anything here.
Okay. And you mentioned council conditions. Do you have those?
I will pull them up when we get to the meeting.
Okay, very good.
And look at them. I went through them and everything appears to me that it was met. Shostak and I kind of looked at them briefly, and he said, yeah, they've done everything that he needed them to do. He does have comments in their rounds of comments, but that's not really purview for us as more code stuff.
Okay. I did notice in our packet on the portal that it looked like it was a duplicate, so were there?
Well, so they gave drawings, and then they gave a full, it just was, they're the same. They're the same. There's more in one than in the other, but they're the same drawings.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. It's unusual just to have one application, so.
Yeah, and next month we're gonna have one that's even smaller.
Okay, any questions for Brett this morning?
So start off when we do the 9 o'clock, I'll start the 9 o'clock meeting just so you're familiar, and we'll do our voting for chairman and vice chairman. We don't have to do treasurer because I hold all the money, which is none. But, so we'll do vice chair and chair first thing, and then whoever gets those positions will take over the meeting.
Okay. I'll tell you what, before we adjourn the workshop, I'll tell you what I'll do is let me give us a recap of what we did in 2025.
Yeah,
How about that?
yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
We have plenty of time, so. All right, I went through our meeting minutes and so forth, and then here's what we accomplished last year as a design review board. How about that? So we held 12 workshop sessions, and that was a total of 5 hours worth of time. We held 12 design review board public hearings, and we spent 31 hours in those meetings. If you were here for all 12 workshops and design review board meetings, so that's about a total of 36 hours we spent working on our reviewing applications. We heard 47 applications last year, and we made a total of 67 motions. How about that? And we did have one cursory review that we did. And one of the things that Holly is always attuned to is some of our new vocabulary terms or some of our reincarnated words that we come up with. So so here's what we had here's a few from last year. Some are good, some are billboard, compound of charm, flair, goofy, simple elegance, and mayor's mansion. So those are some. And then what we found in what was created in our dictionary for 2024, let me go through those. Electicity, fun geometry, less spiky, rose towers, smearing, step and repeat, stumble lighting, and Tudor eclectic. So we can add all those to our DRB vocabulary. So, okay, and I'll work on our list for 2026 as we have each of our meetings. So, all right, with that, anything else from board members this morning?
Yes. Question, quick, if I could just, about the Thompson project. Are we aware of any redevelopment going on in the adjacent properties?
So,
There is, there's a lot between each, I believe.
Between the detention pond?
But each way, there's
Yeah,
at
on
least
both
one
sides, yeah.
lot each way of these two.
I think there's 2 lots.
It could be, yeah.
Towards the detention pond, and then 2 lots towards the other development that we looked at.
Yeah, so there is one, didn't we find that there was one in the middle, but it was all staff stuff, or was that,
You must be thinking of it.
anyway?
So what we're looking at today is 272 and 276 Thompson Street.
Yeah,
What we looked at March, February of last year, and December of 2024 was 296 and 304 Thompson Street.
yeah, so hang on one second and I'll put that up on a visual so you can see that. Let me get the numbers real quick. So 272 and then 296. Okay, so this is gonna be just a little bit weird, but we looked at, I need to zoom in a little bit. Joel, do you have a mouse that you can do this and drive it better?
Yeah, it's like I can maybe even do you one better, Brett.
Because this touchpad is so,
Now it's hard because I can't. Now I have to look up there.
maybe this will do it. Okay,
What's
so
the
272, if you'll see the green dots here, or blue or whatever color, 272 and 276 are what we're looking at today. 296 and 304 we've looked at in the past and are approved. So
Well, they
284,
might be not in the right order because the projects are on there.
yeah, 284, which is in the middle of what we're looking at today and what we've looked at in the past is not been here yet. And then there's these two lots down here that haven't been done. So we've got these two that haven't been done yet. Then we've got this one that we're looking at combined with this one. Then we skip one. All right, Joel will show you.
I think there's 8 lots. There's 8 lots in that area, and we've looked at 2 previously. We're looking at another 2 that are grouped together, so there's like 2 lots that are in between those.
Yeah, we're good.
Do you know any of these the same developer?
No,
Any of these groups?
they're not.
They're all different. They're all kind of doing the same thing. I guess it's the only way to do it, get 2 lots and put a street up the middle and that they do.
Is it the same architect, same designer between the two? If it's a
Not even the same,
really?
not even the same civil or landscape, yeah.
Technology. We are the technology city of the South.
But this is the first one of these, we're looking at landscaping, right? It's been staff delegated.
Well,
in
the
past.
other one, we had if I remember correctly, we had the front landscape.
Okay.
Just the front.
Landscape, Front Street, Thompson
Yeah.
Street, yeah, okay.
But this one, we're doing all of it.
You have to see address points now.
Okay, yeah. So there you can see the address points, and
This is 272.
so we're looking at 272 and 276 today. 284 is empty, and then the next 2 lots to the right, we've already done. So there's 1 in the middle and 2 to the left. And nobody's the same.
The other development that got approved, is it the same detention pond, like natural park kind of covering the detention pond or the
Yes.
water runoff, the
Yeah,
same
same
concept?
thing. I mean, there's nowhere to do detention ponds there.
Yep.
So it's all underground.
Yep.
Yeah. And all of them at some point will connect through, Joel, can you zoom out just a little bit? All of them will connect through the back to the Thompson Street Water Park and the loop. Eventually, as they're developed, each one of those will connect through the back sides of those lots, is the plan. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
Why in this case is landscape being kicked out?
Because city council said that DRB should approve landscape. That's why it's coming to you,
No confidence in staff, I think.
potentially.
Yay, okay.
I mean, staff really, in honesty, we're not landscape architects. We're not designers.
Right.
You know, we know the code, but that doesn't involve that type of stuff. So that's why we have you guys.
I thought David was, no.
Okay, very good. Anything else for Brett this morning?
I'd like to say.
We do not want that.
I just want to remind everybody that we have a new AV system, and we've had some trouble with the volume. Like, we can hear each other right now, but the recordings haven't been heard very well, so they're readjusting the volume. So you still, even though it might sound loud to you when you talk into the microphone, you've got to talking to the microphone.
Yeah, make sure you lean up to your mic, speak right into the mic. This one is completely different than what you guys have, as is that one's completely different. They should all be like this, in my opinion, but that would not let, I mean, just the slightest little tap on this desk and that crazy thing picks it up.
Are we still voting by hands, or are we gonna?
Yes, I was gonna ask you.
Right now, we're still voting by hands. We haven't been taught how to do the other, we have to, that's a whole nother layer of the system, so we want to get this.
Okay,
We will be soon.
all right.
And Ellie, good to see you.
What?
Good to see you. Welcome
Oh,
back.
thank you, thank you. Glad to be back.
Okay, anything else? All right, let's adjourn the workshop session, go get our coffee cups filled, get back here at 9 o'clock to start our public hearing. Thank you.
He's taking requests now.
Whatever works.
Okay.
Thank you.
Who was that?
It was you.
All right.
We ready?
Brett, do you want me to call the meeting to order, or do you want to do it? You got it.
Good morning. We're going to call the January 2026 Design Review Board meeting to order this morning. First order of business we have is to elect a chair and vice chair. So at this time, I need a nomination for chairman.
Nominate Richard Kramer for chairman?
Second.
We have a nomination and a second. Mr. Kramer, if voted, would you accept that position?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Any other nominations? Any comments? Any crickets? Nothing? Okay. We need to vote on that then. So all in favor of Mr. Kramer for chairman of the Design Review Board for 2026, please raise your hand. And we have a full vote there. Congratulations, Mr. Kramer.
Thank you.
Once
Yeah,
again.
you didn't vote.
Once again.
I didn't look down there, I didn't see.
He didn't vote for himself. Yeah, I'm not sure who he wanted, but he
Yeah,
didn't.
I would vote for
No.
myself.
My hands are tied.
He can't, well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose the people vote for themselves when they go to vote, so. Anyway, we need a nomination for the vice chair, please.
I'd make a nomination that Mr. Schwing is our vice chair.
Second.
Nomination and second, Mr. Schwing. If so voted, would you accept that position?
I would.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations? Nobody wants to speak up? Okay. So we need to vote on that. All in favor of Mr. Schwing for 2026 Vice Chairman of the Design Review Board, please raise your hand. And we have a full vote for that one. Okay, I'll turn the meeting over to the newly minted, or should I say coronated?
No, not.
That's, oh, just Pat, okay, so the newly minted chairperson.
Yeah,
Mr.
Corkle and coronated go together.
They do, it's a kind of a thing.
Get
I'm
the
not
rest-
sure you can call him newly minted. He was
He,
minted
he,
a long
he
time
was
ago.
minted a long time ago. Okay, I'll give you that. Newly voted in.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brett, for doing
Yeah.
that. Thank you for your vote of confidence this morning. So welcome. All right. We kind of had roll call, or make sure we have roll call. Everybody's here, present and/or accounted for, so all good there. Let's just a gentle reminder, if you'll silence your electronic devices, please. And then let's stand, face the flag, and have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you for that. All right, next item is anything from staff this morning. Any items from staff this morning? So I'm looking at Brett, Joel, and Ellie.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Ellie has the pre-meeting stuff to read. Next month, we have one case as well, just a sign in downtown. So that'll be another quick month for you, but we hope all of you will show up. This morning, we'd like to welcome our newest member, Mr. Bem. Bem, is that
It's actually pronounced BAME.
Bame? Okay,
Whoever gets
okay.
that right.
We had the same spelling in Ohio and it was Bem, so apologize. He is Katie's appointee for this year. She was elected in the fall and began her term in January. So Chris will be with us for 4 years while Katie's here. And we look forward to his expertise. I'll let you give a little of your background and knowledge and welcome to the board.
Yep. Thank you very much. No, it's a pleasure to be here with you all and hopefully help continue the good work that you all have done. Lived in Atlanta since 1989, or I'm sorry, lived in Alpharetta since 1989. Grew up in Park Bridge, actually, and now live in Windward. My sister, my brother, and my parents all live here too. So lived here a long time and thrilled with what Alpharetta's become and where it's headed. So excited to be a part of the board and help continue the great work. Thank you.
That's potentially the biggest family that might live here. Maybe we need to have like Bain Park or something like that. I
I'm
mean,
all
you got,
for it.
when you have, you know, multiple generations still in Alpharetta, that's a thing.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Yes.
Oh, please. I need another one. I need some support here.
Go Dogs.
Okay. Anything else from staff this morning? All good?
Ellie, you got your statement? Right over here. Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Any items from board members this morning? Anything from board members? I'll say,
I would just like to welcome Ellie back. We've missed you.
glad to see Ellie back. Yes, thank you for that. And I will say Happy New Year to everyone on the board. Look forward to working with everyone for the next 12 months or so. Welcome, Mr. Bain. His sister lives in my neighborhood, his sister and brother-in-law, so small world. But, look forward to working with you for the next 12 months or even longer than that, so good. All right. Okay, and Pat got sworn in. Doug Doritos reappointed Pat to the board. I was reappointed by Kirk Driscoll, for those that didn't know, so I was sworn in also. So anyway, we've got a good group this year. Looking forward to working with all of you. Okay, anything else from board members this morning? Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is to approve our meeting minutes from several meetings. We've got the December, the November, and the October meetings to approve. So let's take it from oldest to newest. How about that? So let's start with the October 19th, 2025 Design Review Board meeting minutes. I assume everybody's had a chance to look at those. And can I get a motion to approve such minutes, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the October minutes.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Owens, a second by Mr. Rowan. Any,
Can I just say, on the actual minutes, it says October 19th, and I think it's supposed to say October 17th. Is the only,
let's check that. Is that the right?
yeah, that's what I was just looking, should be.
Okay, let's look at our calendars here a minute just to confirm. I'm going to go back to October.
Sorry, I was slow on
That's good.
that.
That's good. Yes, it should say October 17th. So let's note that correction. October 17th, 2025 is when we met. All right, very good. Anything else? Thank you, Ms. Palmer, for that correction. All right. There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the October 17th, 2025 Design Review Board meeting minutes, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? No opposition. Minutes are approved, 7-0. Okay. Next up is our November, and let's check the date to make sure November 21st. Is that correct? Does that reflect the accurate date? Okay. All right. I assume everyone's had a chance to look at the November 21st, 2025 Design Review Board meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve such, please?
Motion to approve the November 2025 board, Design Review Board meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Swing, a second by Mr. Corkle. Any comments or questions about the motion? Okay, there being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the November 21st, 2025 Design Review Board meeting minutes, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? No opposition. Minutes are approved, 7-0. Okay, and our most recent meeting for December. which was December 19th. Let's make sure of that date too, just checking. I look at my calendar, and it was December 19th, so that date is correct.
So I just noticed in the minutes that are in the latest package, under the workshop, it has Chair Schwing adjourn the workshop, and that should be Kramer.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, it has him calling the workshop to order, but then it has me adjourning the workshop.
So that should be Kramer.
I
And
think
then,
under the roll call, shouldn't it say chairman after your name?
It usually does, yeah.
it's up. Okay, and then I noticed in the printed version that I have in front of me, for the Portman Brookside application, there was a duplication of board member Sprayberry. Did you see that? Did you see that?
I've done these minutes, like, with y'all's corrections, so I'll have to look at it again, I don't know if y'all wanna wait.
Okay. And then I noticed there was a couple misspelled words too. So let's do this. If we can, let's postpone approving those many minutes to make sure we get everything corrected in those. We can approve those next month. That's right. So let's postpone the approval of those. Make sure we get everything correct. Okay. With that, and I will thank Ellie if she did this. Our design review board printed the members. Did everybody get a copy of this? Thank you for doing that, Ellie.
Well, that comes from the city clerk, she does everyone's.
Okay.
But Holly noticed, some wrong dates of appointments, so if you wanna just check your information and just email me if anything's incorrect. Thank you.
Okay.
Phone number is off. is what
Okay.
it's all.
Okay. All right, very good, yeah. So everybody, just take a look at that, and make sure your information's correct on that, and then we'll get that updated. But thank you for that, very handy to have, so. Okay, and then, the other thing that would be handy for Ellie is a list of all of our meetings. Sometimes it gets published, you put it on one single piece of paper, all the dates.
I'll send y'all
Okay,
that.
very good. 'Cause
Is yours correct? Your first appointment date was 1996?
Yes, that is correct.
You had 30 years doing it?
Yes.
Holy moly.
You definitely deserve a pension.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I'll bet you get a plaque for sure.
Hey, I
Should
enjoyed
have
it.
a
30
building,
years.
should have a building named after you.
I think it was May of '96 is when I was first appointed, so let's go back and look at that. But yeah, it was. It's hard to believe.
You should have a party.
I thought I was just gonna serve for a few
Better.
years.
I like that better.
Do you remember what was on the agenda that night?
No, but I do have a copy of the agenda. I'll fish that out and share it with you.
Fun
anyway.
fact.
Is it in the triplicate things
In the
from back
Yeah.
then?
It's on what's yes, the blue, you smell it, yeah, that's what it was on.
But I'll say this, I do remember we used to have to pick our packets up at the fire station down on Webb Ridge Road, if you remember. They were delivered to the fire station in a manila envelope. They were stuffed in a little cubby, and you had to go pick your packet up before the meeting so you could look at what was on the agenda for the day.
And then you stepped up in the world and got them delivered.
Got them delivered, that was awesome.
Yes,
Yeah, those were the.
yes, and now it's all electronic, so no longer paper.
We're delivering them still.
Although I did get a gift delivered in December, so from.
Yes,
Which I loved.
Yes,
Good,
so thank you
good.
for.
yeah. The city, I can't take credit or anybody, the city clerk's office took that over at my request this year, just because we couldn't come up with any more. I mean, Ellie and I and everybody downstairs have been doing it for all the boards for so many years. We're like, wait, we've already done this, we did this, we did this, we did this. It's like, what, we're done. We can't think of anything else. So I asked if they would weigh in, and they jumped right in, and so.
I will say I had to tell Pat what it was and what to do with it. He also lit something on fire,
Ooh, well,
because he was unattended. He was unattended.
Okay.
My wife takes fire away from me, but she wasn't there.
Okay, all right, very good. Let's get on to our first application this morning.
Let me read the public.
Oh, yes.
An individual requesting to be heard on a matter related to the purpose of the hearing must be recognized by the chair before addressing the board. Upon rising to speak, the speaker must identify himself or herself and furnish a home or business address before proceeding with any comments or remarks. The board will allow the proponents a total of 10 minutes to speak in support of an application. Opponents will be allowed 10 minutes to speak in opposition. Comments are accepted first from the applicant, followed by the person speaking in favor, and then from those in opposition. Upon conclusion of any opposing comments or presentations, the chair will allow the applicant to offer rebuttal if any time is remaining in the original allotted 10 minutes, and the chair has the discretion to allow more time if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie. Appreciate that. Okay. Our first applicant this morning is 272C Thompson LLC. You're here. Come on down, please, or come on up. I think I know you know the process, but if you'll make sure you speak into the microphone, introduce yourself this morning, and then give us an overview of what we have in our packet today, please.
Good morning. Steve Rowe at 80 City 50 Warm Springs Circle, Raleigh, Georgia. I'm just going to do a quick intro. I was part of the zoning process, and then I'll quickly turn it over to Jennifer Sprague, who handled it. Can you turn the microphone on as well? It's
Button on the right. There you go.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Do I need to start over again?
You're good. We know who you are.
Been here a couple.
We know where to find you if we need to.
All right. So this is Thompson Street Residential. It's a piece on Thompson Street. It's about two properties up to the east of Thompson Street Park, and then there's two properties, and then there's one that's kind of in the middle that's still undeveloped. So we're flanked on either side by undeveloped properties. Here's a little bit closer look at where the area is. And the main reason we're here is as we went through the zoning, there were 6 specific conditions that the council asked us to come back in front of DRB for, all related to landscape and hardscape. Some of them are related to the frontage on Thompson Street, some are the main streetscape within the development itself, other is the internal park that we have, and then the east and west buffers that are adjacent to the neighboring properties. So that's really the main reason we're here, is to kind of focus on those 6. Now, you're welcome to look at everything, obviously, but you know, this is why we're here, not not anything more. So at this point, I'm just going to turn it over to Jennifer. Is there anything that questions regarding zoning process, thoughts behind it? I'm here to support, but this is Jennifer's show. Thank you.
Brett, do we have a copy of those conditions somewhere, other than what Steve just showed? Are they in here?
Looking at these are the certified copies there. So, and the highlights in red are the specific conditions. I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll let Brett find those.
I thought I uploaded them to your packet, but apparently I didn't upload the packet again. Okay, yeah, I'll get them.
We have extra copies too. We can pass around if that helps. You do that too. That'll help us. We have some extra copies, Steve. Thank you. Be very beneficial. How many copies do you have, Jennifer? Why don't you share some with, all right, I'll share with Frank. How about that? Why don't you see if, Matt, does staff need a copy?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, we're sharing. Okay. I'll tell you what, you know what? I'm sorry, Steve. While you're there with the conditions and the ones that are highlighted.
Yes.
Why don't you just read those out loud for us? I'll let you be our narrator.
Sure.
Sometimes I do that, but I'm gonna
I'll be the spokesmodel today.
You're more familiar with them than I am, so
Sure.
I'll let you read those out.
Zoning condition 4 is front yard shall be framed with decorative low wall, metal fencing, or hedge with brick or stone columns as approved by DRB. Front yards of the townhomes is the alpha loop side of the building.
So essentially what we're gonna do is the alpha loop that will run along the back, the fronts of those buildings will actually face the alpha loop, so the backs, you'll be looking at the backs coming down the street.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Sure. Condition 9 is project entrance shall include decorative landscaping, low walls or hedge with brick or stone columns as approved by DRB. HOA shall be responsible for regular maintenance of project or entrance improvements. Condition 12, creeping vines shall be planted covering retaining walls and low walls as approved by DRB. 13, central amenity space shall be developed with decorative landscaping, hardscape, and seating as approved by DRB. Landscape material shall include plant selections promoting historic downtown. Improvement shall be maintained by the HOA. Condition 16, developer shall plant a minimum 6-inch caliper canopy trees on either side of the new private street at the beginning and at the end of the street and in the 10-foot landscape strip as approved by DRB. And 17, the developer shall make reasonable efforts to save trees within the 5-foot landscape strips on the east and west property lines as approved by staff. Remaining area of the landscape strip shall be planted with a mix of evergreen and shade trees as approved by DRB. So they really are just relating to mainly landscaping and hardscaping in the visible areas within the development.
Okay, very good. I
Sure.
did notice, I think it was condition 1 or 2, maybe, had DRB in it, but that looks like it has to do with the architecture.
Yes, the architecture, and that's something we're not ready to, the builder is still going through some of his work with his architect, and he will be back with those elevations.
Okay, very good. All right, you're here for site and landscape.
Site and landscape,
Yes, very
correct.
good. All right. Thank you for reading those.
Sure.
Okay.
It's sometimes a little difficult to look at landscaping when there's no buildings associated with it, so we'll see where that goes. But generally, you want landscaping to relate
Right.
back to architecture, that sort of thing, so just throwing that caveat out there for now.
No, staff, staff understands, and I think these guys do as well. So what'll end up happening is if it has to change because of building elevations, they'll have to bring landscape back, and then they'll have to go back through their re-reviews for all that. Or they're gonna have to make their elevations meet the landscape.
Would it be helpful to share the city council elevations?
No, because we don't know if that's gonna be it. So,
Oh, I thought they were supposed to be substantial.
I mean, substantially similar, but it's not known that it's to scale and all that, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were very rough elevations. And
So it'd be staff discretion as far as if one meets the other, or if they relate to each other, that sort of thing.
As far as the plan to plan,
Yeah,
I think what would probably be best is when the architecture comes, we bring the lot-specific landscape. Maybe we have them here, so that if there are some things that maybe that lot-specific need to change, we could do that at that time.
thematically, I think everything's probably fine.
Yeah.
And, so it's always been the fun part is when people move in, they change it.
Yeah, the reason we're here today is in order to get land disturbance permitting, we have to have DRB approval, so. Knowing that we could come back if there's changes to the architecture.
Okay.
And are willing to, more than happy to entertain.
I think that could be a lot-by-lot
Worth a
thing.
brief discussion.
Yeah, if it would need to change at that point.
All right.
All
All
right.
right, I'm set.
Jennifer has to come back.
Yep.
All right, good morning, everybody. Jennifer Sprayberry, 50 Warm Springs Circle, Roswell. So I can quickly flip through some of the civil sheets we have here. Also, I'd like to say that because we did submit for LDP, we received comments and feedback from the city, and so we have in tandem, so we've addressed some of those comments prior to coming to the meeting. So these plans are maybe a little different than what we submitted in the packet. But nothing major, just kind of switching out plant material. We added some fencing and things like that. But it's substantially the same. So here we see, this is just showing our existing conditions. We've kind of already gone over this. The 2 homes on the site will be demoed, our tree removal. This is our site layout plan, which we've kind of already gone over. We've got the single-family lots lining the main drive here, and then at the back alley, we have 2 blocks of townhomes, a group of 4 and a group of 3. And I'd like to mention, we will, in the future, have a Alpha Loop connection here in this back 40-foot area. That plan has not been designed at this time, and so we have just kind of ghosted in an outline of where that could potentially go on our site layout. You can kind of see it here, that future Alpha Loop trail. And we've taken that future trail into consideration when designing the stormwater, the design that has to go through the back there in order to minimize the tree removal in that area and preserve more trees. It is, but it was a condition that we limit the tree removal in the back 40 feet of the property. And so in order to do that, the trail kind of needs to go further towards the townhomes. Then we've just included the utility plan, grading plan for reference. You can see here our stormwater. We're trying to accomplish that underground, and that's going to be underneath our green area, our amenity that we have a condition to provide for the site, which is in this area here, adjacent to the mail kiosk.
So would you, Jennifer, would you say that's kind of the low area of the site?
Let's look at the grading plan here. It kind of slopes.
The actual low area is the very back corner of the property where it drains to. It's a little strange because there's a low spot at near the corner up at Thompson, which is going to be considered bypass. Then there's a big, rise and then another steep drop off. So we're having to balance. Our area for stormwater is really going to happen within about a 3.5 foot area. So we're very limited on our depth because of our discharge point. So that's why it looks so, expansive is that we just can't go deeper because then we can't get the water out of there.
Got it. All right. Thank you. And that's where that amenity area is, correct? Where the underground stormwater.
Right here, yes. So we have stormwater underground here in this shaded area, and it actually carries across to the other side. So, it kind of follows along the back alley. And then the amenity green area, and the outfall is here. We've pushed it out a little further so that it is on the other side of the proposed or the future Alpha Loop, so that the loop isn't on the other side of the outfall. So that is the main reason why we have some tree removal in that area, is to just accomplish that and make room for the future trail. So you can see this line here with the A on it. That is our tree protection fencing and our limits of disturbance. So we really have tried to pull that in as tight as we can to limit the tree removal in the area.
On that site plan, Jennifer, where are the walls? There's mention of adding lines to walls and that sort of thing.
Yes.
What was that about?
Yes. Let's see here. So we have walls on both the east and west side of the property. So you're actually on the higher side here of the wall, and then our homes are on the lower side of this wall that runs along. So north is pointing straight back on this side. So here on the east side, we have a wall running this side. The neighboring property is on the high side, then we're lower, and then we step down again on the west side with this wall. And this doesn't run the full length. We have kind of little pieces that have to pop in just periodically here, but this is the main length of the wall. And then we're, pardon?
Where's the wall on that picture? I see the hand going across it.
Let's go to, let's see.
I think I've seen tree fence and.
I want to show. Yeah, the tree fence kind of gets in the way.
And then what's the height of that wall on that side, and what's the material?
back to our site layout. Sorry, guys. Flipping around here. Here you can see the wall a little better.
Right, and given the heights of the walls and the limited area of construction, we're having to do cast-in-place veneered walls.
And so we've got the top of wall and bottom of wall going along here.
So we will have fall protection fencing where required, when we have 30 inches grade change or more.
And the veneer you said you're putting on, is that a brick veneer is what you're doing?
Yes, that's currently the plan, and we'll work that in with the architecture of the buildings, making sure we got a good match of that.
But for instance, if I'm a resident in one of these homes right here, I'm not seeing the wall, although I may see a railing.
Right, you might see a railing, you'll be looking over the wall, but the people on the west, or on the east side will be looking at that wall.
Right, okay.
And that's where the vines
You
come in.
have to have a railing, right? 'Cause
Yes.
it's the height of the wall.
So their property goes to, well, past where the wall location is, right?
Pat,
Correct.
Your microphone on.
So you step out your back door and then you're a wall, and then is there any access to the rest of the yard? If I'm assuming that the top line there is the property line.
There's not gonna be much access because of the requirement for the screening within that area. So they're limited on their outdoor living space on the
So
backyards.
no plan for stairs to come down, or?
No, because you're really not accessing anything. You're accessing into a planted buffer.
We are out of good land, aren't we?
And that's why the park is critical on this, to have that common area over the stormwater. So that becomes your,
So do you have any
Outdoor
images
space.
of that veneer, what it will look like?
we've got some pictures of, stone and rock of what we're thinking, but until the architect picks his brick color, we kind of want to hold off on that final decision until that point.
Yeah, we just have concept imagery here,
Yeah.
really, but it will
That's
match the
real stone.
architecture.
Because if they
can
pick
we-
a white brick, then
Brett,
it's.
condition that to come back? I mean,
I don't know if you need to condition it to come back. We just
condition
we need to remember that as each lot comes, we need to look at that wall one way or the other.
right, because the wall won't be built before the homes are approved, I'm assuming.
Well, the concrete could
Right.
easily be
Veneer
done.
will come later.
Yeah, and the veneer will come later. That's just laying the step on the bottom of the wall.
So it won't be a lithograde, it'll be a real masonry material?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we just, at that point.
Because if, for example, if the back of the house has a rock water table, the same thing might want to fall out to that wall.
Correct.
Kind of thing. So
All right, so,
I think if you condition it, I think you should condition that the wall material come back with lot-specific
or related.
architecture
Yeah, okay.
or something, yeah.
All right, any more walls? Sorry.
No, we have a little piece of a wall here, just where needed. This main wall kind of terminates at this lot. The placement of the wall, actually, because we did have conditions on both the east and west sides that we try to preserve as much tree canopy as possible, and we're dealing with a lot of boundary trees as well to limit those impacts.
And then, is there one more on the back side?
Back on the north side?
Yes, north.
No, those will be kind of internal, so the grade will step down to the back of the townhomes.
Okay, I thought I saw a wall on one of the drawings, but not on that one, okay.
We've worked with Civil to just integrate some of those LDP comments and kind of streamline the plans a little bit back here.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Any more stuff on site?
All right.
The only thing, and it's kind of hard to really judge this without seeing the elevations, but it seemed odd that the lots 1 and 5, that they're positioned so that the driveway is on that side of the home.
I was thinking the same thing.
It seems like the driveway would have been away from Thompson Street, especially Lot 5 coming out of there, they're right at the intersection. And also, you know, when we see this again, obviously, as you know, we're gonna be looking at the Thompson Street elevations
Yes.
very carefully.
I felt that, I was curious about Lot 1 because the orientation of 2, 3, and 4 are all, they all have the driveway on the north side, but one has it on the south side. But with that lot, it's set back off the entrance a lot more than Lot 5, where it actually bisects the apron, the decorative apron. And I was gonna just ask Jennifer if there was a thought ever along the way to what was driving the depth of the apron, if the apron could at least get out of the person's driveway, but.
Yeah, and
I just want to speak to the architecture real quick. These were mainly placeholders that the builder gave us to place in there just so that it was a basic XY dimension so that they could get a feel for the lots. These are probably not going to be the houses that happen. They were just, this is a project that he's worked on, or a product he's used before and said, use these as placeholders. I know I can make this house work on these lots. Then he'll go and make the actual architecture changes. So these were truly placeholders. So flipping driveways, moving things around should not be that big a deal.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Sorry.
Because I think having that additional green space on the Thompson Street side it's helpful. I had a question about the front yard. I might have misunderstood this. There's a decorative wall along Thompson Street as well? Or is that?
no, so the condition reads that we have to have, it's an either-or situation. So a low wall, columns with a evergreen hedge, or the fence. Well, so there are two conditions that deal with fencing.
I was looking at condition 4.
Condition 4. So the front yard shall be framed with decorative low wall metal fencing or hedge with brick or stone columns as approved by DRB. And then the front yard of the townhomes is defined as the Alpha Loop side of the building in the condition. So that's separate from the landscape strip frontage that we have on Thompson Street. And so we've addressed that by adding aluminum fencing to frame all of these front yards, so all of the single-family homes. And then on the Alpha Loop side of the townhomes, you'll see this line here depicts a fence line.
Are there any required setbacks off the Alpha Loop for decorative fencing or any kind of hardscape?
Well,
It gets
so
pretty
our
close.
fence line is right on that 40-foot setback. So it's a 40-foot setback from this property line here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There was also a condition, we're showing a fence line along the back property line. That was a separate condition. It doesn't require DRB approval, but it was another one of our conditions to give some screening to the property at the north.
Jennifer, I'm going to interject just a minute because I was looking at some of the conditions, and this kind of deals with, Eric, what you were mentioning or looking at. So condition number 11 says, I'll read this one, homes on lots 1 and 5 shall be oriented to Thompson Street with vehicular access from the private street within the subdivision. Garage doors may not face Thompson Street. Detached home garage doors facing the new private street shall be recessed with a minimum 10 feet behind the front facade. Anyway, looks like city council was trying to address, but
I think it
not
could
where
be.
the driveway was located, but trying to.
I think we could address that with a condition to orient the driveways on lots 1 and 5 to the north side of the property when they design the architecture.
Okay, makes sense. All right, sorry, we got off track a little bit.
No worries.
Jennifer,
No, but we could talk about the landscape strip because that's where our other condition for the separation along the landscape strip occurs. And because lots 1 and 5 are supposed to front Thompson Street, we've provided an access there for both. 1 sits a little higher than street level, so there will be some steps involved there in that access, and then 5 is a little more at grade. We also have a condition to provide trees within the beauty strip. So that is this strip along the front side of the sidewalk. We've
How wide
got,
is that strip, Jennifer?
pardon?
How wide is that strip?
What did we have? 6 feet, I think? Yeah. So we also have overhead power lines in that area. So we're using Serviceberry. We're proposing Serviceberry for that area to kind of tie in with the other, that was a comment from LDP that we tie in with the landscape and tree materials used for the rest of Thompson Street. So we've done that, as well as referring back to the Thompson Street guidelines for plant palette selection.
So what is the street tree along there?
We are using the Shumard oak. And so across the street, you can kind of see it here a little bit. This is the connection to the Alpha Loop. This goes along Foundry. And so this is a piece of that multi-use trail. And so within this park, there's kind of just a mixture of oaks, elms, understory trees. It's not just one continuous tree, but Shumard oaks are used pretty in large quantities there as well. So we've just tied in the Shumard oak for our street tree or our landscape tree in the landscape strip
Okay, so those are Shumard's interior of the walk.
on within the landscape strip, the 10-foot landscape strip.
Okay.
So here, and so we've spaced them because of their size. They get greater than the 25 feet. So then we've utilized the chase tree in between
Is
as
there
an
a power pole in
understory.
that landscape strip, or excuse me, in the beauty strip as well? Any power poles sitting in there?
Not within the landscape strip. They are pretty much with
No,
it.
the beauty strip.
Yes. So you can kind of see the OHP.
Yeah. I
That's
thought I
our
saw
overhead
like
power.
a black dot sitting down a little bit lower on the west end, right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's a power pole? I don't know. Anyway,
Could be. I'm not sure. Mm.
okay. What, no water line underneath to go with this?
We do have water meters within that, so we've placed these trees so that let's look at our,
Are we calling that 6-foot wide landscape strip a beauty strip? Or is
Yes.
that-
well, so.
She did.
Just trying to get my terms right.
Well, it's not the code landscape strip. There's two different things. There's the beauty strip, which generally happens, correct me if I'm wrong, Jennifer, generally happens between sidewalk and street. Landscape strip happens behind utilities.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta turn this off.
Yes,
So the landscape, any required landscape strip has to be outside of utilities. So those are always the most interior portion of properties. So when David or anybody, most of the site folks, and we beauty strip downstairs all the time, that's gonna be whatever's in right away, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
this, yes, on the street side of the sidewalk. And then our property line is right here, this kind of dashed line, and then you can kind of see we've labeled the 10-foot landscape strip is within this area, and it continues all the way down the property line. And so you can see a little better here outside of the rendering where we have our overstory Shumard trees, the chased in between, and then these are our serviceberry trees within the beauty strip. But yeah, we're dealing with a lot of utilities within that area. We always do. You can see the overhead power line here.
Jennifer, I have a question while if you push that back up just a little bit right there. So, Mr. Rowan was talking about flipping that driveway on lot 5.
Mhm.
What's that gonna do with, is that gonna leave you enough spacing between those two trees then? Because obviously that tree would probably then go to the other side, or would it be on the lot line?
This one?
So it could stay there and still move the driveway to the other side of the lot?
I think so. We could re-examine that. We really tried to, but also we had a condition to provide trees on one side of this main drive, and then shrubs are required on this side, but we've tried to kind of match that so that it's a continuous streetscape, and so it's matched side to side. So if the drives did move, we would realign our tree placement to kind of,
One thought, as a suggestion only, you could flip all 5 of those. And if you did that, then you could align all the if you wanted to, you could align all the trees on either side of the private drive all the way back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could. I think the idea that we kind of went with here was that, so across the street, you'd be across from each drive would be
Yeah.
a tree. So that's kind of the
Oh,
pattern that
gotcha.
we've done here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's no sidewalk on that interior street, correct? Or is there?
There is. So it's actually above the storm line here. We've placed the storm so it's outside of our 6-foot planter strip that's required.
It's just on the one
It's
side.
just on the one side, but it connects the street, Thompson Street, to the amenity green space here. And so we can look at the landscape plan, I guess, while we're here.
Is that front sidewalk along Thompson Street, is that indeed gonna have the brick inlay?
Yeah, so that's that's in this Thompson Street guidelines. So there's a different requirement for the multi-use trail versus sidewalk. And so it's the sidewalk that we have here on our side has the kind of framed rectangles with the brick, like a double brick.
Is that what exists
banding.
the rest of the way on Thompson?
Well, where it's been done.
That's what exists out there.
Right.
Mhm.
Not necessarily what exists,
Right.
but where it's been developed and it's not part of the multi-use trail, yes. So there's not much of it. There's
No.
maybe only 2 spots that have been done and they're smaller ones, so it's coming as part of the Thompson Street, so it'll continue.
I mean, as long as it doesn't come up being like this hopscotch of
It-
different
well, it'll
materials,
s-
which it's,
I mean,
it sounds like it's
kind of
starting to
will
get that way.
As the multi-use trail kind of does this, but, yeah.
Yeah, because the multi-use trail picks up right at the park, at the pond park, and so it does switch over there for a bit. It kind of, but
It's your fault, right?
That's his New Year's resolution for 2026, is to get this.
Get it all done. I wish I would have bought a couple of those houses on Thompson Street
Me too.
when I moved here. I didn't, but
So, we can look at the landscape here. One of our conditions, so going back to that, the option for separation along the landscape strip, let's see, which one is that? So number 9, the project entrance shall include decorative landscaping, low walls, or hedge with brick or stone columns as approved by DRB. And then the HOA shall be responsible for regular maintenance. So for the landscape strip, we've chosen to go with the decorative columns and then a continuous evergreen hedge to provide kind of a green fence.
9 is for the entrance, 4 is for the landscaping along the fronts.
Well, so I was confused at first about that. So, and then that was a comment from David. So the front yards are actually the front yards of which technically, I guess, 1 and 5 would be front to Thompson, but all the rest of these, and then the front yard here. So it's a separate condition for we interpreted the entrance as like the landscape strip and like the entryway to the site for number 9. It was a bit confusing.
Okay.
Yeah. But we switch over, so we've proposed the aluminum picket fence for the framing of the front yards, and that will tie into the columns at the front. But then along the landscape strip, we provided columns, so your columns would be framing these access points to the 2 front lots. And so you would have one here, one at the entrance, another on the other side, in the same kind of pattern.
And are those just standalone columns?
They're standalone columns with an evergreen hedge as the wall, and that was an option stated in the
Sure.
condition.
So what does the column look like?
It's on L5. Jennifer, what drove the height of, the 4-foot 8-inch height of the columns?
Can you pull those up first?
The
Oh,
co-
sure. The reason why I ask is, over on, Manning on the Square, somehow they got, really tall, like 5-foot columns approved. And the people whose homes they were up against went nuts, and they tore them out and put in like 8, it wasn't my home, obviously, but like, there was a huge uproar, and, because they just looked
Out
kind
of
of
scale.
overwhelming a bit,
Yeah.
so.
Well, so the 4'8", so we'll have a 4-foot fencing tying in along the
Okay,
the
that makes
drive,
sense.
basically. Yeah, so you need that little bit of extra, plus then the cap.
makes
So,
sense.
yeah, it's just a little bigger than that.
Oh, so there is a fence. They're not standalone.
So the fence ties in along the entry drive. So like you've got a column right here. And then you can see that this fencing that's required to frame the front of the lots kind of runs along the property line here. But that would tie into the back side of that column.
Okay. And then along Thompson Street, there is no fence, but there is the columns. Standalone
Correct.
columns.
At the
Correct.
stairs, or the connections.
All right. So can we talk about those columns again real quick?
Yes, let me go back. Yes, and so I believe we've said that they're gonna be, it'll be veneer, either brick or stone. It's similar to the wall veneer to match the building architecture when we know what those materials are gonna be.
I still can't see that. How wide are those? There we go.
3, with the cap, with the little overhang, 3'8".
3 by 5. And I gotta agree with you, Eric, along the fronts where there's standalones, that's kind of tall.
I just wanted to bring it up because it was really like a mutiny.
I mean, it makes sense if there's a fence plugging into it.
That's kind of a typical, I feel like, column size when you have column and fencing together, that it would be like a 4-foot fence, and then you would have just a little over the 4 feet for the column.
And then on the top end of,
I think the ones that
when plugged
Mr. Rowan were talking about, I think they quickly approached 6 foot tall,
Yeah.
which was part of the,
And a big piece
They-
was
they were-
there was no fence tied into it,
Yeah.
so these, like, they were 3-4 feet wide by like.
they were really big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They look like monuments.
I guess if you have a 4-foot fence, the column has to be at least 4 feet.
Should be a little bit more, yeah.
Can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the standalone ones.
Oh,
There's
the
not-
stands, not the ones on the corner.
That's what I said. I said if a fence plugs into it, that makes sense.
Why don't you, Jennifer, can you point out where the standalone columns are?
I mean, I'm not gonna beleaguer it. That's just,
We do have the standalones on either side of these connections to Thompson Street for these two. So we'll have a column flanking either side here
there's nothing with them.
with the evergreen hedge between. The ones at the entrance drive, those will have the fence tied into them.
Okay.
And then this one back here will be kind of side by side with the wall.
Side by side with the wall, not
Well, like,
plugged into the wall.
not, depending on, we may need to work that out where it could maybe terminate into the column. We just need to look at the grades right there. Because we're on the lower side.
And the top end shows a curved wall coming into the proposed hedge column there as well.
Yes. So our hedge kind of flows in front of that wall.
So really, the only two the standalones are on either side of the entrance, really.
Are they at the bottom of the steps or the top of the steps?
Top.
So that side they'll be really tall, because you said it was, you have steps going up.
Oh, because you'll just have a post at the bottom.
And the intent of those steps is.
Well, that's
Down the street.
came out of the audience there. The handrail will tie into those standalone columns for the stairway fence. So you're gonna have to be over 36 inches.
So there's a lot going on the street, and obviously my focus is on Thompson Street,
Yes.
and there's a lot going on there. Those are comments at this point, so whatever the fencing looks like, the railing looks like, how do those, it's called a proposed hedge column on, oh shoot, I lost the sheet. But I think it's just the tree plan is what I was looking at. L 4.0, no.
This might be easier. This is our enlargement of the frontage there.
So I'm looking at sheet 3.0, L 3.0. And that kind of shows how the walls plug into the columns and the trees and that sort of thing. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say the hedge column needs to be such and such height. I'm just saying it's very close to the house. I think the landscaping will scale it some as well. Eric showed me the picture of the one at the infamous tear down our columns. And they were just standalone columns with
I mean,
no
they were
landscaping
on-
at all around them, which
They
is-
were on either side of like a
Yeah.
5 or 6 foot sidewalk. Your all sidewalk's like 8 feet that leads to the homes, right? Which helps proportionally, I think.
And she's got landscaping around the
And
scale
there's
thing and all that.
landscaping around.
So how all that stuff ties together with the streetscape is gonna be key.
Are they conditioned, those standalones?
Yes, well, it's an option for, it's either or that we provide along the frontage.
I always called that condition the Woodman.
Yeah.
Is the intent of those steps right there to go to the front door essentially of the single-family home right there?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a bit of a grade change between the FFE and the street.
I mean, it's not for the general public, obviously,
No,
to
no,
access
it
that.
would-
That's just a convenience for the homeowner.
Yeah, I believe that was in one of our conditions,
It was
that they
in a
provide
condition, yeah.
access to
Yeah.
the street.
It is.
Well, I agree that, but it's like, okay, yeah, it's almost,
So if there's a railing there, what does that look like?
there's gonna have to be a railing there.
And presumably on the other one, there isn't, because there's no steps, correct?
No, there's steps on the other one too, aren't there?
I don't think so.
No.
No?
No, it's more at grade,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
got it.
Jennifer, are you talking about number 4 for that one? Four's the other, okay.
4 and 9 are very similar, so I think it's 9 that we're talking about the frontage, the entrance.
Low walls, hedge with brick or stone
They're
column.
similar but not.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Is there a photo depiction of what the fencing looks like and what the railing looks like? Because I just didn't see it in here.
We have details, let's see. So this is the proposed rail, just your typical aluminum picket, the channel rail at the top. But we haven't illustrated those elements together, I guess. In an
What height
elevation.
is that? Or is that just,
I think it says 4 feet. It should be 4 feet.
so that would, the railing would mimic that fence? If it comes down to the street off of the, whatever that lot is, the top lot there? I think we need to do better as far as the railing goes, rather than mimic the fencing that might already go along the interior portion of the property.
Well, we've chosen as part of as one of the options in the condition to do the column with the evergreen hedge as our fence along the front.
I get it. I'm just saying, if there's a railing that comes down because of those steps, what is that top lot? So I'm not, lot 1. So if there's a railing coming down off of those standalone columns,
I'm not proposing a railing there. The railing would start, I think, it's hard to see here because we have storm. The wall kind of ends back here in this corner.
You're talking about a handrail that would come down those steps.
because of the steps, there would probably be a handrail.
Right, and we just don't know, and we don't know what the architecture is and what the stylization, what the ornamentation. Are they gonna have shutter dogs that we can match that
So that's
with?
one of the things I'm like, I want, if.
Yeah,
if it
and
matches
that's something we could
the
bring
fence-
back when we do lot 1. That's something, a detail that we would have better handle on once we knew what the architecture looked like.
You could almost connect it to the architecture.
Correct.
The other thing is because of the fact that the grade follows the stairs on both sides, it's not gonna be like a fence, a barrier. It's
No.
just gonna be a single.
Just gonna be a
handrail.
handrail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I was a little alarmed when she said that the railing would look like that fence. I'm like, ooh, no.
I think what
No, I
she's saying is it
can
would
understand.
complement and match with like, you know,
Okay.
color and scale and things, but again, it just depends on what that style of that home ends up being.
The rest of it is what it is.
Right. And again, we're showing that as and again, this is the architecture that I was provided to do the planning work. That's probably not where the front door will be and where it'll may be more inset, it may be on one of the other corners. I
like
just
the
don't know.
columns and the hedges and all that stuff and staying away from the fencing along the front of Thompson Street. That's all good, I think.
Yeah, that's,
It's an odd condition, and they said this, or this. And I call it the Woodman because it shows up on all of these as you
the
go.
Woodman.
So let's see, what else do we have here? We had a condition, number 12, for the creeping vines to be planted to cover the retaining walls and low walls as approved by DRB. So what we're proposing, we've got, I think it's, so we've got creeping fig on the lower side to climb up the walls, but also on the top of the walls, we're proposing Madison Star Jasmine to kind of spill over. So you kind of have like a double layered effect from the bottom of the wall and then from the top as well.
It is the idea to completely screen, because the photo of the imagery you provided of the veneer on the wall, if it indeed is like a masonry cut stone wall, I think you let that play as much as you can and then try to hit your condition as well.
So
But is the idea to screen it entirely or just accent it?
No, but we did have a comment from LDP that we needed more. So we added more,
Whose comment was that?
more vines.
Well, I would, I think I do. So, I mean, I think I can reverse condition that to just say, you know, to accent masonry walls to meet it. I mean, to screen a masonry cut stone wall is a disservice to the project in and of itself. So,
What's that condition?
Number
I
12.
saw it in there. And I think the condition as it is intended is for, you know, a concrete block wall or for something that is not a stone, natural stone veneered wall.
Well, and Pat, to your point, the condition says retaining walls, so that's probably the thought, it was gonna be concrete. They wanted to try to hide it.
Well, they are concrete, but it's a veneered concrete.
Well, it's a veneer, yeah, that's a different.
Right. So is that fair? I mean,
I think so. Yeah, I'm good with that. We added more because of the comment. This one's a little different because we have LDP comments ahead of, you know,
Sure.
the condition approval here to DRB. So we're kind of trying to work both of those, you know, satisfy the conditions, the comments.
I like the look of, if it's a stone masonry wall, like your image shows, like a Boston ivy growing on it, or something like that sort of thing. And then you still have to make it look historic.
Yeah, so Madison Star, the jasmine, it was on the Thompson Street plant palette list that we selected from as well. So we tried to stay in that palette of plants for the whole site. So yeah, we'll take that into consideration for the walls. Let's see, condition 13 talks about the central amenity space. Shall be developed with decorative landscaping, hardscape, and seating as approved by DRB. Landscape materials shall include plant selections promoting the historic downtown, and then it shall be maintained by the HOA. So this is our amenity area at the back here. We are on top of underground detention, so we've kept our tree material to the edge of that perimeter outside of the easement there. And then really we've just tried to landscape this. We've got one little walkway that comes through, some green space here at the front. We've added shrubs around the mail kiosk, and then we've fully planted the area back behind, in between the sidewalk, the alley, and this home.
Is that turf, interior of the wall there?
Here, that would be grass, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so it's just a mixture of plant material. We have some imagery at the end I can show you guys, but it's just some grasses, loropetalum to get the purple, just seasonal. So we have plant interest year-round, basically, in the area. There's something going on. We have some columnar trees at the back mixed with the evergreen hedge along the boundary for this lot. At the back, we have our kind of natural area that we've tried to preserve as much of the, existing material as possible per one of our conditions. But we've planted up until that disturbed line.
Is that just a mulch pathway?
No, it would be a concrete sidewalk, yes.
So, and that park covers a detention pond underneath it?
It's not a pond, it's underground detention,
Not
so it's
underground
underground, you don't
Is there any
see it.
concern about the root system or anything for the trees, the soil depth or anything like that?
So the trees we've kept outside of that perimeter, outside of the clear zone. We just have small shrubs and grasses on top.
Gotcha.
Yes, that was a consideration.
Jennifer, are there any, like large grates, manholes, or access points to the underground detention that would infringe on the park space?
That's a good question. I wouldn't think so. Do we know where those are gonna be, Steve?
I presume you'd be able to hide them pretty good.
Right now, since we're having to creep out into some of the roadway areas, we're gonna keep those in the roadway areas or in sidewalk areas where possible. There may be one or two based upon the way the cut sheets happen where we have to put it in a landscape area, but they'll definitely be outside of the turf.
Gotcha. And then the box with the X, I presume that's like a mail kiosk?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And so the park sidewalk ties into the sidewalk along the alley here. This is parking, and we have parking on the other side as well. But then this kind of creates a little loop.
Jennifer, I'm gonna beleaguer it one more time, because I'm seeing the imagery of the creeping fig on the column. Where are your vine locations at? Are they,
So all of these so the triangle here, the shaded triangle, these are at the lower side of the wall. Those are the fig.
okay,
And so then over here, we've provided the fig on the lower side, and then on the upper side, we have the Madison Star Jasmine. So it's this little kind of half circle at the top of the wall to spill over.
so in that case, on the west end there, on the, west is
side?
down, right?
West is top,
Oh,
this
west is
here.
up, north, okay. So on the east side of that, you're only screening for the backyards of these homes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And Jennifer, is all the landscaping irrigated?
It will be,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
We have a little seating note here, ADA accessible, as required per the condition for the amenity area. We've also included seating areas along Thompson Street. We have two, one on either side.
Saw a bicycle rack, I think, on the design. Where was that?
I don't know. I don't know if we've shown that, actually. It would probably most likely be in this amenity space. We would locate that probably next to the kiosk. We can add that in.
I was just saying, I'm not gonna beleaguer that whole much further, the vines and the wall, because it's the periphery stuff. It's not Thompson Street and the view from Thompson Street, so,
No.
but again, I think you spend all that money on that veneer and then cover it in vines, it's like, you know, why go to the expense of having a veneer?
That's a
Right.
good point. Excuse me, Patrick, that's a good point, because too often we look at walls that are nicely built and designed, and they get covered up, not just with vines, but with shrubs.
So that was condition 13, and then the next one we're looking at is number 16. Developers shall plant minimum 6-inch caliper canopy trees on either side of new private street at the beginning and end of the street and in the 10-foot landscape strips as approved by DRB. So, yeah, 6-inch caliper trees. So we've specified 6-inch along the main drive and the landscape strip along Thompson.
In the landscape, in a beauty shop, it's like in a landscape. Yeah, that's huge.
It's a 6-inch plant, or a 6-foot planter.
The genesis of that condition was from Academy Park. So they were asking for more mature landscaping as well as some of the drainage issues to the back, so a lot of,
What is in Academy Park?
no comment.
And so, you know, we talked about it. We've tried to match those in a nice streetscape pattern down the main drive. And they're specified at 6-inch caliper. And then the next one, number 17, developers shall make reasonable efforts to save trees within the 5-foot landscape strips along the east and west property lines as approved by staff. Then the remaining area of the landscape strip shall be planted with a mix of evergreen and shade trees as approved by DRB. So we have, as we've kind of discussed this, so you can see that we are limits of disturbance. We've pulled those back. The walls have been located in places where we're able to preserve kind of or limit the impacts to some of those critical root zones along the east and west boundaries. And then where we have gaps in the tree canopy, the CRZs, we've planted a mix of evergreen and deciduous trees to meet our landscape strip requirements.
Where you at with density? Right on it?
Density, let's look at, I think we are. We have a bit of specimen recompense on this site, but density, yeah, we're there. We were required to add 45 inches, so we were required 130. We're at exactly 130, and then we satisfy all of our recompense on site as well.
Okay.
And so really those are the, we could look at our plant palette.
So while you're, since you haven't, we're not looking at elevation materials yet, and the footprints of the homes are just sort of placeholders. I guess you don't really know where air conditioning condensers are gonna go.
No, not yet, no.
So we'll have to look at that when we come back with, I guess, elevations.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, what do you see as the, what's the schedule for the single-family homes coming to fruition? I mean,
I'm
is
not
that
sure.
next
Do you have a
month,
schedule?
next year, next?
My best guess is once we have the civil plans approved and they've started doing the clearing work and getting the lots together, I think that's when he'll really hit it hard. So, you know, we're in the process. I would say you'd probably see it late spring, early summer.
Okay.
Would be my best guess.
All right.
This is just some of our plant imagery that we're using. Mix of evergreen and deciduous, evergreen at the edges. Shrubs to create just year-round interest. We've pulled everything from the Thompson Street palette. We've used some improved cultivars of some of the recommended plants, but it's essentially the same. Yeah, it's in line. And we saw this before. There's our sidewalk, the frame sidewalk. There's an example actually down here of the hedge with the columns. Our columns would not look like this. They would have veneer, the stone or brick, but that's kind of the intent, I guess, to achieve, is a mature evergreen hedge between the columns along the frontage.
Stovepipe cactus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's strange, but it's the essence of what we're trying to capture.
So, I mean, are you trying to mimic a hedge that tall?
And we have compacta holly, so no. No, it can be nicely maintained into, to be in scale with those columns.
Brett, those may be in the eco district guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, is there any thought, will the neighborhood have any kind of a monument sign possibly? Delineating 272 or 276 or just
If we
curious?
did, it may be incorporated maybe into the columns, like a plate, maybe 2 plates, just something clean and that wouldn't be incorporated into that area.
Can I use one of your terms you mentioned earlier? Simplistic elegance?
Yes.
Yeah, an over-the-top monument sign just doesn't make sense in this location.
I'm surprised there's no requirement for art. That never matters. Never matters.
Question, real quick, Jennifer, how does vehicle turnaround work on the street that fronts the townhomes? I saw the parking on there. How would like a delivery vehicle turn around on that street?
Well, there is parking here,
Yep.
so they could pull in and then back out. Use the drives. I guess they would pull into a driveway and then back out.
Either pull into a driveway or they would just park in the street. It meets the NFPA fire truck turnaround,
Okay.
that little T intersection. So that's usually when we meet that, the delivery trucks, fire trucks, trash trucks, it fits everybody. So.
Okay, cool. Just curious. Thank you.
During my driving test a long time ago, I had to do a 3-point turnaround. I didn't have to parallel park, but I had to do a 3-point turnaround, so I assume that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
All right, before we have any motions made or anything, I'm going to ask, is there any public comment about this application? Any public comment this morning? Okay, no public comment, so. All right, we've got site plan to approve and the landscaping plan to approve.
You want to do them together or separate?
It probably makes sense maybe to do it separately, I'm thinking, just because, just keep it simple, so. Have at it, please, somebody.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the site plan for DRB 250042, 272 Seed Thompson LLC with the following conditions. The applicant will orient the driveways and garage access at Lot 1 and 5 on the north side of the individual lots in an effort to create more green space on the Thompson Street side of the lot. And the handrail at the stairs for Lot 1 will be presented as part of the DRB architectural submission. And a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All right, a motion by Mr. Rowan, a second by Mr. Swing. Any comments or questions about the motion on the floor?
And I think, just for the minutes and for the record, as we've mentioned, the home footprints here are placeholders, representative only. We'll have to look at that again when you come back with elevation materials.
Okay. Anything else? There being no further comment or questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? No opposition. Motion passes 7-0. All right, we got the site plan done. Who wants to craft a motion for the landscape, please?
I'll give it a go. Regarding DRB 2500422272 Seed Thompson LLC. I'd like to make a motion regarding landscaping that we approve as submitted with the following condition, that the hardscape, columns, wall veneer, and any potential stair railing, notably for Lot 1, shall be developed and presented at a later date in conjunction with the architecture. End of motion.
Second?
All right, have a motion by Mr. Cornwall, second by Mr. Owens. Any questions or comments about the motion?
Yeah, I guess, as was commented earlier, the landscaping for each individual lot we're gonna have to take a look at in relation to the elevations as well of the homes when they come back.
Maybe, generally we don't.
You're not making that as a friendly amendment, though.
No.
You're just,
No, just noting
just
it.
noting that.
Just noting it.
Okay.
Sometimes individual lots come in, usually they don't.
Yeah, it just, normally we would be looking at elevation materials before we look at landscaping, so we already know what the homes look like when we approve landscaping. It's
Yeah,
a
I think
bit,
it would only be if there's a substantial change in theme or something like that because of what ended up coming up with architecture, that we look at that lot to make sure it still works and meets all the conditions that it need to. Otherwise, yeah, I agree.
I mean,
It's not gonna need formally come back.
I mean, other than Thompson Street, there's not a whole lot of landscaping around these homes.
Well, I was
individually.
gonna ask Jennifer if they made little garages for the robotic lawnmowers, because that little 10x5 out there, I mean, you just might as well get a robotic lawnmower too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just kidding.
I don't know, Pat, we may see some stovepipe cactus or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some walls.
Okay. Yes, we have a motion. Any other questions, comments? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? No opposition. Motion passes 7-0. All right.
All right.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
presentation
guys.
this morning. Appreciate it.
Because all the lawnmowers.
They're going crazy.
Richard. Okay. There being no further business or applications, and with no objections from fellow board members, I hereby adjourn our meeting.
Steve, are those driveways deep enough? Deep enough, yes.
All right, welcome.
16 feet
First
or
one down, first meeting down.
I forget what the distance, has to be a certain distance from street to. 18.
Good job, Jennifer.